let me let everybody know. I see there's like 72, 73 people on the call. Our programs are only for Boston and not Suffolk County because there's other parts of like Chelsea or different parts of the state that are in Suffolk County, but they are not part of Boston. There's actually going to be a map that we have. So you have to be a first-time homebuyer. What that means for this program is you haven't owned in the past 3 years. So if you owned previously and whatever those reasons were, the lenders will consider you a first-time homebuyer. You do have to graduate the chapter approved homebuyer class, which I've heard several guest speakers speak to. You need to get a pre-approval from a participating lender for our programs. And what that means is you would go to our website. I put it in the chat a couple of times, homecenter.boston.gov, plus it's going to be on one of our slides. There are about 12 lenders there. Another tip that folks were talking to you about that we're presenting, if somebody isn't getting back to you within a reasonable time, I mean, everybody wants instant gratification, and it doesn't always work that way. But if your lender is not responsive to whatever your deadlines are, whatever your conversation was with them, I suggest that you take a look at the list. We always suggest you talk to 3 lenders anyway when you're shopping. You're making the biggest purchase of your life, so you do want to shop around. For our program, down payment, purchasing a condominium, single family, 2-family, or 3-family home. And to the point on the 2 and 3 family, we'll have a couple of slides on co-purchasing. That's a new product that, our program actually, that the city has. You must be buying a primary residence, and the requirement is that you do remain as your primary residence when you're purchasing, and if you should receive assistance. The contribution from you, which is what Denisha was hounding on, is budget and working through that budget. What does that look like for you? You need at least 1.5% of your own savings. Were you to look at a 3-family, the investment on your part will be at least 3% of your own funds. You cannot have more than $100,000 in liquid assets. You will be verifying retirement. You will be documenting IRAs and Roths and things like that. It will not be considered a liquid asset. Crypto is the new big one too. So when we get the bank statements, if you know you have a crypto account, please include that when you're sending your application. Next slide. Traditional financial assistance. I think Maha was speaking to the point of different programs. We have different programs as well. The traditional one, this is where somebody could make up to 135% area median income. What I would suggest is you take a look at the chart that we have on our website. That will take the guesswork out and will help you stay focused, as Denisha said, on your goal. The household income, less than 100% applicants can receive down payment up to 3% of a purchase price, closing cost assistance, or a grant up to $50,000. One of the things that Denisha touched on as well is if you're getting a deed restricted unit, then your down payment assistance would be less. And that's for the obvious reason. You're getting a property that is not at the market rate. And so your assistance would be a little bit less to also be able to support folks that are buying units that are not deed restricted. That's why they receive more. And when we're saying purchase price, again, that is not determined by us. That's determined by a lender. The example of liquid assets is checking, savings, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, crypto. For households with between 101 and 135%, you can receive up to 2% of the purchase price or maximum grant of $35,000. The word grant means that you do not have to pay it back, and that is for now. So during the course of my years being with the city of Boston, going on 20, sometimes it's a grant, sometimes it's not. And that is because depending on funding, And so, and it's also, the goal has always been to provide low and moderate income money for folks that want to maintain in the city. And so there used to be a 10-year restriction. You'd have to live there for 10 years, otherwise you would have to pay some of the money back. But again, right now, it's an actual grant. There's no payment. Next slide, please. Here is traditional financial assistance. There is a chart that goes from, as somebody was speaking earlier, 60, 70, 80, 90. We're putting the max here because there are folks that you can say, oh, I'm a household of one. As long as I make less than that, I should be able to get some sort of assistance. If you're higher than a family of 6, we can provide the chart and the number on that as well. Next slide. The 1+. So this is a little bit different than our other programs. This, again, this had a change recently to support people that already live in the city of Boston. And so that changes. The 1+ is only being offered to them. You must meet all the requirements per the lender in the 1+ Boston program. The big thing about this, when I was talking about traditional financial assistance, you could submit that application at any time. The 1+, your lender takes the lead. So you have to be working with the participating lender. And I noticed on the chart for the other presenter, you know, they had all the counties. We only serve the city of Boston, and we only work with the lenders that are on our website. And as a matter of fact, most of the time, that contact is the manager, and they either or the vice president of the bank. And so they hand it off to a team of qualified loan officers that are familiar with our programs. And so again, this program is different because the lender takes the lead. Next slide, please.
Uh-oh, did it switch?
No. Oh, it did, Tanisha. I'm sorry. It did. The 1+, the max. Okay, thank you. Maximum household on this program is 100% area median income. It's a down payment of 3% of the purchase price. Again, closing costs, condo, single. If you're getting a deed restricted, it'll be less. But there's also an enhancement. You could possibly get an interest rate discount of 1% to an already discounted 1+ mortgage. The grant award on this would be a maximum of $75,000. So when we say maximum, what that is saying is you may not get all of that, but the maximum you would get. There's different categories. The team will walk through every step of the way, why and how much money you'd be able to receive. Next one, please. So the 1+, again, this program is only up to 100% area median income. Somebody earlier had in the chat, they make 120. Somebody told them they didn't qualify. I don't know where you're looking. However, if you are a resident of the city of Boston and you're looking to purchase in the city of Boston, as you can see on this chart, you would be eligible to at least talk to the lender and move that forward. Next slide. Boston Housing Authority, I saw some questions about Section 8 voucher. There are lenders that do Section 8 voucher to homeownership. And if you presently live in Boston Housing Authority and you have a maximum of 135% area mean income, you can qualify or at least determine if you're eligible for their $75,000 grant. That is something you would work with them. They actually provide a letter to us. So if you were doing the 1+ and you were also receiving money from the Boston Housing Authority, there are 2 pieces of documentation that would come to us, one from the lender and one from Boston Housing Authority saying you meet the criteria. Then we would send you the application for the One Plus mortgage. You will not find that application online. You'll only find traditional. Co-purchasing, this is new. This was a way to help generations that were thinking about purchasing a home but didn't want to live in the same unit. It's designed, again, to support families that are going to be living in a multifamily. The city will provide down payment and closing cost assistance in the form, presently again, 0% interest deferred loan. It's payable upon sale, transfer, or refinance. We have this great guide. I don't know if you can, my screen looks blurry, so I'm not sure if you can see it. But if you go to the Home Center webpage, it's a guide to co-purchasing, unlocking affordable homeownership opportunities with the City of Boston's financial assistance team. And it's to help with affordability. It's to help constituents have access to more neighborhoods, and it builds community because you're going to be living with one another, supporting one another. One of the big things, though, the next slide might speak to it, is it's a different form of homeownership than a single, obviously. And it's a different form of homeownership with a condo where you have monthly fees. But it's similar to a condo that there'll be legal docs that will be drafted. You'll work with a professional to spell out how to go about getting the mortgage, how to keep up with maintenance. What does it look like if somebody ends up having another partner come into the home? So all that would be worked out between the parties and their attorneys. Each co-purchasing household must meet the financial assistance requirements. There is, again, the co-ownership agreement. This needs to be a 2 or 3 family. There has to be vacancies, so the both parties will have their own unit, and they'll be joint on the mortgage as well. So this is another big thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about co-purchasing. I thought the booklet was great. I thought they did a great job to spell it out so you can manage your own expectations. But the reality is that you want to make sure you're co-purchasing with someone that you can rely on to make sure no matter what happens, you know, that you stay on the same page when it comes to the property. Doesn't mean you stay on the same page with everything else, but sometimes that's going to happen. Next slide. Here is the city of Boston. For anybody new to the area, you're probably more open-minded than us that grew up in Boston. We'd be like, oh no, I never want to live there or there. One of those places for me was Dorchester. And I ended up living in Dorchester for 18 years. So it's amazing that, you know, somewhere I thought like, no, that's not a spot for me. I lived down by Adams Village. I could get the train at Ashmont. I felt safe in the community, and there was a lot of great work with the main streets as far as keeping businesses. So it was really a great experience for me to live there. Next slide, please. We want you to keep in touch. That is our email for anybody that thinks that we don't answer the phone or that we don't answer emails. That's not true. We have somebody manning it Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And we it actually gets the emails and the phone calls come through. We no longer have regular telephones. So it's in an email. And if somebody doesn't respond within 24 to 48 hours, we're not open on the weekend, that team gets spoken to. So you will get a response. If you should leave a message on the weekend, we'll get back to you on Monday. I think I answered a lot of questions, but I'm not sure, Denisha, if there were
Think
other
you
ones.
did. I was answering them in the chat. And one of them is going to be when Amy speaks next. But thank you so much, Christine. Do you guys have any specific questions for the city of Boston? So she's going to answer questions for those of you who live in Boston and are seeking down payment assistance from the city of Boston, or thinking of doing the co-purchasing with to buy a multifamily. And I want to go back to, we don't have the income limit on here. So let me pull it up
We
on,
didn't pull the whole income for all of them because it was too busy. We only put it the
okay.
maximum
I
to
was hoping
clean
the
up the
135.
presentation.
Wait a minute. So guys, a lot of times I just go to Google and enter what I'm looking for and let Google do the work for me. So I'm trying to find the city's income limits, and I'll share the screen with you guys so you can see. Here we go. So you can see the madness that I do. Okay, so here on the screen, I literally just Google City of Boston down payment income limits, and this was the first thing that popped up. And so this is a website. You click on the link. Oh, is my internet not gonna work with me? Oh, you're gonna embarrass me today, internet. Come on. It's not gonna open the document. Sorry, guys. But
I did, Denisha, put the link. I'm getting it again to put in the chat that
okay.
takes folks directly to our website. There's for first-time home buyers. Um, there's a lot of great information on there. There's like 5 or 6 icons. Um, somebody's asking about the 100,000. Um,
It's
so the
not the
100,
100,000. I think she meant 100% AMI, area median income.
somebody wrote, didn't she say 100,000? So the 100,000 is you cannot have more than 100,000 in liquid assets. I don't understand what Dorchester is, very remote. There's public transportation between buses and train and commuter train.
I am unfortunately my internet. I am not at my home base, guys, and my internet's not the strongest, so it's not pulling up what I wanted to show you guys, which is the 135% AMI for those of you who needed the higher
Let
income
me see
to
if I
know
can
what
get it.
there
Let me
is,
see if I can get it for you.
but I cannot pull it up for some reason. It's taking too much bandwidth on my computer.
I I should be able to get it.
Awesome. Oh, that's okay. So any other questions for Christine, guys? I will send you guys because I know where the link is. I just can't click on it to open it for you guys to see. Um, I'll send the income limit, what the up to 135% of the area median income for down payment or financial assistance, what that looks like, what those numbers are for the household size. I will send that to you guys. If no further questions, thank you so much, Christine. Greatly appreciated. Very helpful, very informative.
Congratulations, everybody, on behalf of the Boston Home Center. Feel free to reach out to us. And Denise, I'll pull that up for you.
Okay.
I'll take my camera off, but I'll pull that up for you and get it in there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Enjoy
And
the rest of your evening,
you
everybody.
too, you too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And